Today on the water, I'm going to try and teach you the best that I can about catching crappie in the dog days of summer. We're going to utilize the fact that a lot of times they're shallower than what people think. We're going to utilize a different bait technique that you don't use very much of the year. But One Standard always says we've got a system for 12 months a year to catch crappie. We're going to showcase that today, and it's been hot. It's been 100, 102, multiple days in a row here in the Midwest. I mean, absolutely burn your house down. And these crappie are lethargic. If you don't have the ambition to get out here, it's kind of like their thought process as well. They don't have the ambition to want to move and run a lot. But you can catch a cooler full of crappie if you can just pay attention to today and see if you can get persistent enough to just kind of keep after them. All right, right here on the Russell Marine Flex, 86-degree water. We're in 11 foot, and that's a group of crappie. That's what you're looking for. I think it's an oxygen content thing, and I think the bait's been up here shallow all night. That just goes to show you right now, dog days of summer, that group of crappie right there is setting tight, 11 foot of water, and we're going to catch them. There's one, put it in his mouth. Nice one to start off with. Once you catch that first one, you get them kind of going a little bit. You don't want to mess around. You want to get your fish in the cooler and get right back up there. Because once you kind of get them all stirred up, you got that scent in the water, just keeps them fired up. You know, we call it in the bass world fire in the school, same in the crappie world. So don't mess around. Don't brag to your buddies. Get you another bait and get back up there. So typically, I'd take this same bait head right here from One Standard in the 16 ounce, and I would put this 2-inch minnow 1 on there, or a 2.75, or a swimmer 1. We're not gonna do that today. I'm gonna show you the fact that these fish are so lethargic, you gotta beg them to bite and force them to bite. It's 100% a scent thing. We're gonna take live shiners and actually kill them first, put them on the bait head, and we'll go through the attributes as we get to fishing here. All right, so utilizing the One Standard bait head, I'm gonna go with chartreuse. Just like in the rubber world when we're using the minnow 1 or different things, I like a different colored head. And right here we can see we've got a wild shiner. He's very alive. Now I know it sounds crazy, but they will not bite this bait. They'll beat every scale off of him down there while he's wiggling around. But what we're gonna do, just take us a good pair of scissors here, and we're just simply gonna lop his head off just like that. We're just gonna take and thread him on to make him look a little more like a fish. So right there it is. You don't have to take and really snug it up her tight. It's just simply the profile of the cut bait right along with the color of the bait head. The bait head has a big eye on it. Now them fish, obviously you can see that there's a gap there between those. These fish don't care. They're gonna totally focus on this bait, but that chartreuse is gonna catch their eye. I think the big eye on the bait head gets them to commit. 100% a go-to just to try and get bites when it's 110 in the shade and they don't want to. Look what crawled in the old minnow trap. Well, buddy, we're gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that you have the option to swim off and survive or fight them off before you get to the bottom. Good luck. Well, that come up there and took it off the limb for me. Oh boy. There we go. Nice one. Little fatty. A little black crappie. Nothing wrong with him. One thing I want to emphasize, this is not a casting to technique. This is a vertical fishing, squatting on them approach. They really don't like that bait cruising by them. They want it to be more or less just right there, setting in front of them, enticing them to want to bite, because they're not hungry and they're not eating it other than the fact they're tired of looking at it. So if it'll just coast by them, they'll let it. So keep in mind, as you try this technique, you want to definitely set right up on top of them. A lot of times these fish will let you set, even though it's 11 foot deep, they'll still let you set right on top of them as long as you're quiet. Now you can see here on the Russell Marine Flex that I'm zoomed in super close, 30 foot. That brush pile is almost 30 foot long. The sun is on this side of us, so I'm utilizing the back edge. You can see it's right underneath my trolling motor. I prefer to leave it on down or on forward. You can put it on down, whatever you're comfortable with, but I like to have it so I can tell exactly where the boat's positioned in conjunction with the brush pile. I can't really tell that when I'm on down. I just see both side to side. So run it however you want, but I like to zoom it in. There's no sense in, if you're gonna get up here and fish underneath the boat, there's no sense in seeing what's out there 75 foot. He took it off the tree for me. That's why I like it right there. Little fish taco right there. Little fatty. Baker's dozen. Big in. Big old long joker. You know, you go to the bait store, you stop, you buy a crappie minnow. Well, I'm telling you right now, we're using 3.5-inch shiners. When that's a 13-inch crappie, he's got it all in his mouth right there and hanging out. Big old shiner, and he's missing the head. So you figure you pull this out of there with that bait head on it, and look at it, that's a big old profile bait. That's not a crappie minnow. So you want to break a myth about summertime, got to use small baits? Now, there is the exception to that rule. Someplace like Bull Shoals, Table Rock, super clean water, picky black crappie, big difference. But you're also going to fish 25, 30 foot deep on those reservoirs where we're fishing 12, 14 foot today. There's the one we've been looking for. Yeah, boy, it hooked him good right there. I'm gonna tell you what, that is number 15 right there. I mean, that's a good one. Never gets old. So, this goes to show you, if you be persistent, get out here and get this technique using a 1 standard bait head and a live shiner, but make him dead. You'll be surprised what you can catch. It's just the dog days of summer. You gotta kind of force them to bite. And that's all I got. All right, so it's 11 o'clock. That's number 15 right there. But I want you to understand that I didn't want to go home from fishing and mow the yard. So I mowed the yard this morning and started about 9 o'clock. So a couple hours of poking around, caught a nice limit. We lost our measuring board. It fell in the lake, so we only could keep the ones that we knew were plenty big. So might have even done it faster. But dog days of summer doesn't get much better than that.